Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me and see me. I have some kind of weird thing rigged up here. Hopefully this is going to work. Hello, hello, can you hear me? I clicked live a few seconds early, a couple minutes early. So let me know if you can hear me. Awesome. All right, so it's Q&A night. I have this weird rigged setup for live. Um, hey, hey Denise, hey Kimberly, hey Gina, hey Erica. Awesome, sounds good. Hey Susan, how you doing? So right now I'm actually streaming live from my phone, which is hung onto my laptop so I can easily see the comments. So this is totally different. I usually use Google Hangouts and they discontinued it. So I was like, I didn't know how to do a live. So I just used my phone because it was freezing on the laptop. So this is Q&A night. There's going to be a mix of people here, mostly patrons. There might be a few YouTube members here because I sprung it on YouTube last minute in that member section. I don't think it was expected. So I'm not sure how many will show up, but hey Erica, thank you. Good evening to you too. But it'll be a mix tonight, and if you're new here, if this is your first live, it's basically a live Q&A. You can ask me anything, and if I have an answer or if I can't answer, I will do my best to do that. Hey Mama Joe, everybody. Yeah, we started a little late today because of my technical difficulties. Hey Scott. No, you cannot share this. This is only for members, so this link cannot be shared. Absolutely not. It's only for those who are Patreon members or YouTube members. All right. So, any questions? Hey, Stacy. Hi, Briar. So cool to see everybody here. I'm glad I got this to work tonight, too. All right. So, it looks like let's talk about why you think people left. So that was in a Patreon post I made. I only posted that to Patreon. But I believe, so if you're not, hey Lisa, I did get your email, Steve. I just saw it, but right now I'm just kind of using a quick and easy mode. Your last video dealing with the negative spirits was intense. Thank you. Yeah, so if you didn't see the Patreon post, I basically talked about how after I uploaded my last video, hey RTD, thanks for being here. I keep getting distracted from the comments, but I posted how when I uploaded my last video, the one on demons, I lost about 130 subscribers in about 20 hours on YouTube, and some patrons left. And I was like, well, that's weird, but whatever, it is what it is. And I got some messages from people that obviously didn't watch the whole video. If you watch the beginning and you hear those demon messages, it freaks a lot of people out. It doesn't freak me out. And one day I want to talk about some theories that I have about these demonic entities. But anyway, I got a message saying, now I know you're truly with the devil, and I'm unsubscribing, or I'm like, what are you talking about? The end of the video was basically promoting love. The last thing was the beautiful painting from Maxie Wilson, a Patreon. And I said, that's what you get back in life what you put out. When you put out love, you get back love. That's what it's all about. But anyway, it's really weird how people, I think it stems from fear. There's people who actually are fearful if they watch a video and something coming through says they're a demon, says demon, some people fear that it's going to come through the computer and attack them. And it's probably better that those people do not watch those videos, because fear, it can stress you out. It can cause all kinds of problems. So I'm not upset that people left. It just is strange the reason that they're leaving. And I think it's because they didn't watch the whole video. But it's okay. It is what it is. I just thought it was interesting. Hey, Josh. Yeah, I talked with Josh earlier because I texted him. I'm like, hey, how do you do your live streams? They gave up Google Hangouts. And he showed me this new thing in YouTube Studio that I didn't even know existed. But even with my laptop, it says I need some kind of encoding software. All right, excuse me. Let me see. Your demon video was amazing. Thank you. That video, I didn't want to make it. Some people were messaging me, oh, that's just clickbait. I'm like, it's not clickbait. That's what came in through a couple sessions. So I wanted to talk about it and address. I was hoping it was more informative than anything. But anyway, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it. Stacy Gao, why? Why what? I'm not sure why. I must have missed something. Excuse me. The dark always tries to overshadow the light. That's true. And, there's a lot of people also in the paranormal who refuse to believe in anything evil. So they're like, they have this thought that there's angels and good and God and heavenly souls, but they don't acknowledge that there are lost souls, that there are demonic. You can't have good without bad in life or the afterlife. It's just not possible. So it exists, and it's a part of this work. So anybody who does this work can tell you that there are times when evil tries to creep in. I mean, after all these years, I am so used to it, but now that I've learned how to deal with it, it's not a problem. Here we are. I'm looking at your comments. They left, LOL. Oh, I see, okay. I'm glad you highlighted to not be in fear. Yeah, fear is, I've been saying that for a while now. Try to rid fear from all aspects of life. I don't think it's possible to rid fear from 100% of your life, whether it's making a financial decision or making any big decision in life. There's always fear associated with it. And I believe if you can eliminate that fear from the equation, and just follow your gut instinct, that everything will be okay. So that's what I try to do. And as far as the paranormal, I literally have zero fear of it, because I have zero fear of death. And once I had the zero fear of death, all the fear from the paranormal left, and I realized that fear plays a big part, especially by talking to so many people who will write me or email me and tell me their scary experiences. They want help with demonic forces or things of that nature. And I try to tell them, a lot of that has to do with the fear, because I went through it years ago. All right. Oh no, I would never let it spoil my work, because I've had many demon responses, but I know a lot of people who get freaked out when that comes through. Hey Steve, how is Casper doing? He's gotten so big. I actually cleaned out his whole enclosure today and kind of redesigned it as like a deserty landscape, and he's been out exploring it for the last 3 hours. So he's doing really good. Good. Thank you, Stacy. Is feeling a death the spirit getting closer to you? Melissa Bolton says, I felt the death of a celebrity, being drugged and then choked. So surreal. Is feeling a death the spirit getting closer to you? I've had that happen during group nights. So for some reason, the spirit that you experienced that with wanted you to see that or feel that. During group nights is the only time I really feel it, and that's that purpose we set to bring these messages. But yeah, I would say that. But where are we at here? You don't do clickbait. I try not to do clickbait. Usually what's in the thumbnail and title is what's in the video. Almost always. Always, yeah. Is there a danger to falling asleep with a ghost app on? And that's from Crystal Bishop. I don't think so, because as I've said in videos, that when spirits speak to us using apps or radios, we'll say app because that's your question, you have to be aware, focused, present, right? Somebody does, in order for the spirits to effectively use it. So if you're sleeping, it's just all that you're going to hear are the bank sounds 9 times out of 10. So they won't be using it because you're the main conduit. We're the main conduit. That we're what makes the apps work. There's no magic. Like, say there's 100 apps, right? There probably is 100 apps. They're all really capable of working if they're made correctly. So let's say there's 100 correctly made I.T.C apps. Any one of them will work. Some of them may sound worse. Some of them may not be as easy to use. But they will all work if you're present and you have that connection, and you record and you review and do that whole thing. So yeah, I wouldn't think there's a danger. Short answer to the question, I don't think so. Hey Lisa. Oh, I thought somebody just came in. You are already here. I'm looking at old. Okay, how's Casper doing? Oh, flipped up again. Okay, here we go. What caught your attention for the spinny thing in the glass? I watched and was blown away. By the way, this is coffee. I need my caffeine. That's the Eagly wheel. And how did I see that? Anyway, I was looking into telekinesis. I found the wheel and various other methods, and I always wanted to believe in telekinesis, that we can move something with our mind or energy. And, doing what I do here, I believe anything's possible. Anything. So I was looking into it, and it was people using various devices, but I stumbled upon the wheel. And the wheel is not even meant to be used under glass. It's just meant to set in front of you, put your hand there next to it, and it kind of measures your energy. It's supposed to measure your vitality, your energy. So sometimes I'll do it in the morning, it'll go really quick. Sometimes I'll do it at night, it's crawling. But then I saw some people on YouTube trying to move it under glass. So I was like, well, that's interesting. So I put it under a glass dome, like this one. And it took about 10 minutes of looking at it and trying to focus and pushing that energy out. And then once it started to move, once it moved a centimeter, my brain knew instantly it's possible. So once you realize it's possible and fully believe in something, that's when it started to pick up and go a little quicker, right? And once you have that belief, it's the same way with spirit communication. A lot of people who are skeptics, they get that first taste of it, right? They get they'll turn on a PSP7 and they'll get an answer or a reply and they'll freak out, but then they believe. And after that belief sets in, it's easier for them to basically get replies. So the belief part of it, once I saw that wheel move a little bit, I knew, okay, this is possible under glass. Then I put the double glass, and it took a while, and then I was able to get it to move slowly. It was a little slower, and I've read theories on this, and some people said our energy is harder to get through glass, which, maybe it is, but it's possible. So now I've got this little side fascination with telekinesis, and I'm starting to make little jars with different objects, like a nail, a feather, hanging in a ball jar, and so that'll be coming later, but it takes a lot of practice. And I was even talking with Josh, and we were talking about it, and we had the same experience where when we first got it, we were able to move it like kind of easy, right? After some practice. And then after a few days, we go back to it and we can't move it. There were like 2 or 3 days here that I could not move it. And I was like, what happened? But it takes energy. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? I always do long answers. And I don't know where to look on my phone. I think my camera's right there. Okay. All right. Okay. Do the dogs and Casper get along? They're not ever together. When Casper's out of his enclosure, he's a leucistic ball python, an all-white leucistic ball python. That means he's all white and he has blue eyes. But when you take them out of their enclosure, you're really supposed to handle them maybe 3 times a week for maybe 20 minutes a day. So when he does come out, he's around my neck or he hangs around my arm, and we just hang out for a while, and I kind of rub his body, and that's how he knows it's me. I read up on that. Somebody said, oh, if you do that from when he's a baby, he'll know to be comfortable. But he totally knows my scent or something. Earlier he was trying to get out. He wanted me to take him out, but I had to do this. I guess I could have taken him out for this. But so the dogs never really come in contact with him. Olive, my little Brussels Griffon, would probably try to eat him or something. Since she's like a little piglet, she eats everything. Yeah, the Eagly Wheel. I gave one away here a couple weeks ago to somebody. Briar, you got an Eagly Wheel. Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to practice with. And if you get one, I know a few of my patrons ended up buying one. Try it without the glass. Make sure there's no air conditioning or fans or any breeze. And see how fast it moves, just following the instructions of the device. Then as you get more confident with it, put it under a glass bowl or dome or something and see if you can just focus. What I do originally is I put my hands away from the glass about a few inches, and I envision that this energy, and I envision it as light energy, is coming from my hands and it's pushing that wheel, and that's when it happens. So we do have that energy. Where are we at? I always miss stuff. I'm trying not to do that. Okay, here we go. Where did you get the wheel? I think it's eaglywheel.net. Eaglywheel.net. That's the manufacturer or the inventor. I don't know, but you could order it from there. It comes from the UK, but I ordered the wheel. I ordered the electronic version, and they all came within like 3 days. So it was really fast. And I ordered the second order. I got a photograph of the inventor, and he signed it on the back saying, "Love to you, Steve," and he signed George Aguili. It was interesting. I don't know if he does that for everybody, because I didn't get that with my first one. I got it with the second one. Unless a ton of people went to his site and bought them after my video. I was doing some spirit... Hey, Lisa. Hey, Ashley. Thank you. Where are we at? I was doing some spirit writing yesterday, and for the first time, my guide told me that my mom and dad are proud of me. It blew me away, as I was not even asking that. That's awesome. It's always amazing to get those kind of messages or validations. That's really cool. My family call me Firestarter from the 80s movie. Drew Barrymore. I know that movie. Apparently I set electronic off or burst bulbs. Wow, that's a crazy thing to have. Bursting light bulbs. I have surgery in the morning. I hope it's nothing serious. Melissa. Do you think that by asking Spirit to surround me while under, they will stay with me? Ask your guide. We all have a guide. I firmly believe that. Ask your guide and they will be with you. They're always with you anyway, but if you mentally ask or ask aloud, try to do a meditation and connect with your guide, envision them around you, see if you can start to feel them, and then just ask Ask them whatever you want to ask them. But yeah, I'm sure they will be with you. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about automatic writing using the pen and paper. So some people do automatic writing where the spirits kind of control them and what they write. Um, I've tried it once without success, but I'm sure I'll try it again in the future. I tried it many, many years ago. Yeah, there you go. The pen takes over and they write. Kind of like concept almost of a Ouija board. Instead of a planchette, you're holding a pen. And you really have to be open to the spirits for that to be successful. Alan Harrell, how do you build your boxes? What goes into one? 4 or 5 years ago, I put instructions on how to make the original portal at huffparanormal.com. If you guys go to huffparanormal.com, you can sign up to my email list, and anytime I post a new article or something, you'll get an email. But there is, if you go to Google and type in how to make a portal Huff, you'll get 2 pages that show you how to make the original portal, basic, bare bones, and a mini portal that's like a couple $100 in parts. The boxes I make today are a little different, and I don't put any of that info out because people have a way of stealing and profiting from me like you wouldn't believe, so I don't do that anymore. Stacy Gao, great question. Does using the Igili wheel and practicing mean later you could potentially manipulate larger things? Somebody just sent me a Facebook message asking if I'm live on YouTube. I'll get to that question, but I was trying to figure out this live stream because it was so different from what I was using. And I kept trying to make one on my laptop and it would freeze. And 2 or 3 of them I accidentally set to public. So I had all these people waiting for a public live and then I had to delete them. So now people are wondering, yes, let me get rid of that. All right, anyway. So using the wheel and practicing the wheel, I found if I did it every day, it kind of wore me down more. If I skipped it to every 2 or 3 days, every 3 days, weird. Stop sending me messages. They're like, where can I see you live? Where was I? If you practice it every 3 days, keep your energy up, then it starts to come naturally. And again, once you see it go, it goes. And as far as moving larger objects, I don't know yet because I've only been doing it a few weeks and I haven't tried really to move, but I don't think so. Everything I've seen on telekinesis, it's small stuff, light stuff. I don't think we have the energy to move anything remotely heavy. So I think it's very, very, has to be something very easy to move without much force. I see your message, Allison. Yep. It's a huff party. Ashley Gomez, do you have any idea of how awesome you are? Seriously, though. No, I mean, we're all awesome. We're all amazing. I'm just a guy who loves doing spirit communication. It became my passion. And when you follow your passion and you're dedicated and you're excited about it, you go, you have peaks and valleys where you get burnt out and you come up. But I just do what I love doing. And for some reason, the results it's not just me, there's other people, but yeah, it's just something I love to do. But thank you very much for the compliment. Thank you so much. So Allison Marie, I do see your comment. I'm wondering about when you go to sleep if you're vulnerable. I don't think so. If you fear that you're going to be, then you might be, but I don't think so. I've never experienced that. I love the color of the wall behind you. Thanks, Geneva. I didn't know how easy it would be to see. It's like a blue gray, and then when my son and I painted this room, we did it kind of, we thought it was a little dark, but I'm actually, I'm gonna either redo this whole room, or there's a bigger room. There's a long story also, a lot of you don't know, I think, but um, yeah, we're not moving now. We're done. We're staying in this house. I talked about it in my masterclass video, actually. So those who get the masterclass videos, which was number 6, I talked about it there and the whole reasons why and what happened. It's just, we're done trying to find a house. I appreciate what we have here. So there's a big room in the middle that used to be a music room where I would listen to music, and I'm going to turn that, maybe this one, into a seance room. So I'm trying to get it together, the colors. I'm going to have a chandelier in the middle, a table, and I'll be filming some stuff from there. So there'll be a seance room in the house. There'll be this room in the house, unless I make this the seance room. But the other room's bigger. Thank you, Tavia. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. How do I get a little photo or symbol next to my chat? Those are the YouTube members. YouTube members get little symbols, and soon I'm going to upload custom emojis that'll be next to the names for YouTube members. But yeah. Mama Joe, we would get so much further in this field if the paranormal community would work collectively instead of attacking one another. I mean, right? That just makes common sense. The problem, and here's the problem, is there's so many. All right, it all started with Ghost Hunters TV show. It became popular. Paranormal ghost hunting became popular, and people started putting teams together. And I've read, I mean, starting back then, if you would, or even when I started, I'd go online and there'd be teams and they'd be fighting team members within themselves because of ego, right? So if you have 5 people on a team, I'm talking teams fighting within their own team because of ego, and teams break up and they get mad. So right from the get-go, I'm like, I'm going to be a one-man show. I want to do this on my own. I want to figure things out on my own, and I don't need a permanent team, to get in ego fights with, where people will get mad or angry. So there's that infighting, and then there's people on YouTube, say, or Facebook, or wherever they do their work like this, and they just fight amongst each other. I mean, there's only on one hand I can count how many people I would work with in this field. It might even be that, because if somebody contacts me and says, hey, you want to meet up or work, if I don't know them, I usually don't. But times that I have, it's just, I don't know, it's weird, because when I meet up with new people, I feel they're trying to test me, and that's okay, but it's just a weird thing. So I have people I trust, but I get attacked all the time, which I don't even think about anymore, because it's just silly. Doing this for this long, and there's a lot of people who've seen my videos. There's a lot of people who've seen my videos. There's almost, I think I'll hit 1 million subscribers by end of October, maybe November, I don't know, somewhere around there. A year and a half ago, I told Debbie I would hit 1 million October of 19, so we'll see if that happens. But there's people who attack me just because I'm a popular guy on YouTube in the paranormal field. And people always want to say, well, if they don't believe in something you say, they get angry at you and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, it's a long story. I can go on and on about that. But if people got along in this field, it would be amazing. So much more would be accomplished. That's correct. So there's another rant. I'm always going off on rants. Where are we at here? There's a lot of comments I'm missing. All right, here we go. Is there any sign given to us to know when we are going to die, or are we just not supposed to know? Yeah, I just think we're not supposed to know. I don't think there's a time or sign. But I think if you're, if you're someone who's old, or you have terminal cancer, or you're near death, then you're gonna know. Well, my time is soon. But like, there's no sign that I know of that's given to us. We can't predict when we're going to die. I love your angels video. It brought me to tears. I have a few of those, so I don't know which one you're talking about, Dougie, but I'm sure I'll do more. What made you want to work with spirits? Ashley Gomez. It's a long story. I'll make it really quick. When I was young, I always had a fascination with ghosts and spirits. Starting around age 9, all my life it's been with me. I've had experiences when I was young. I was born with it. It was a fascination for me my entire life. And going into your 20s and 30s, being married, having a child, and all that stuff, I didn't think of it during that phase of life. But it was when I actually got a divorce and was here in this home alone, and I was like, I'm going to start pursuing this passion that I had. So it came about by accident, though, really. I didn't say I'm going to pursue this passion until I discovered the Frank's box. That's when it became a passion. So that's when I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to work with this every day. And I have ever since. So it's just a lifelong fascination with the afterlife and life after death. I've talked about it when I was like 8 or 9. I begged my mom to go to the theater or take me to the theater to see Beyond and Back, which was all about life after death. So it's always kind of been a fascination. Been watching you for quite a while now and just joined. I wanted to say thank you for what you do. I used to be afraid of death, but because of you, I'm not anymore. Thank you, Jennifer. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, one thing that everyone on earth has in common is we're all going to die. No matter your religious beliefs or any belief you have, we're all going to die. It's a natural part of life. Just as we shouldn't fear birth, we shouldn't fear death. That's my take anyway. Yeah, you would think, oh, well, I'm not going to see my loved ones anymore. Or that's what you think when you think of death. Oh, I'm not going to be here for this or that, or I'm going to miss out on this, or I'm going to miss my loved ones, or they're going to miss me. But we still will be able to see our loved ones. I don't... Oh, there's another room. Oh, shoot. So there is another room. I thought I deleted them all. Holy cow. All right. I wonder if I can go. I'll have to do it after this. Shoot. I thought I deleted that. So that's why everybody's like, where are you at? So sorry to all those people. Tavia, there's a certain electronic items in my house that turn on that should not. Could that be a spirit trying to communicate with me? If you know for sure it's not a defective device. I've had a couple times where electronics would turn on and off, but it was a defective, there was a problem with it. But if it's something that you can't explain away, it's very possible, because spirits, one of the energy sources they use is electricity. So anything electronic is kind of fair game for spirits. And some spirits know how to do certain things like that, and some spirits don't, just like using the devices. Spirits say, and have said for years, they have to learn how to use the apps and the devices. So I think some spirits know how to do certain things, maybe even by accident. So that could be a sign. I don't know for sure, but... Oh, man. I'm so sorry there's another room. I would like to know if a spirit can recall their child's nickname. I can't say for sure. I've had spirits call out names of their loved ones. I've had spirits say their name, but I've also found that they don't seem to have the deep memories that some of us think they do. Um, there's so many capabilities that I found spirits have. Like, even though they're energy, they're made of energy, they're invisible to the naked eye. Some of us can see them from within once we learn how to open that up. But what's interesting is you can take photos of them sometimes, depending on the spirit's energy. So they have all these capabilities that they can accomplish. Um, but as far as memory, the memories, it seems like they have memories of their death. They have memories of certain things in their lifetime that were very special. Um, so yeah, it's hard to say. I can't say yes, I can't say no. It's not cut and dry. Where are we at here? Okay. There's no drama if you don't engage with it. Yeah, I don't. If you guys notice, in my videos, I never trash talk anyone. Even if people are attacking me, same people for years, I don't mention them. I don't get into it. I don't engage. I don't give them the attention because they crave attention. There's been so many crazy lies made up about me, um, like funny ones too, and I just ignore them. I just ignore them. Um, I have my computer and my, you know what, hold on a minute. What I'll do is I'll go to my other computer over here. Give me like 2 minutes, guys. I'll close the other room. I'm in my pajamas. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to close that other room out. I didn't realize I had it going. Whew. All right. So I closed it out. Hopefully, um, hopefully that doesn't, or that stops people from going in that other room. Maybe I should do a live for entire YouTube one day. I have never done that. If you have done any testing on orgonite pyramids, they remind me of some of the items you put in your boxes. Yeah, like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I started using orgonite pyramids and various forms of orgonite. There are people that I bought orgonite from to use around the boxes. I did a test in a video a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, where I had a piece of orgonite to the left of the box, and I just asked, can you feel that energy? And the response was to the left. Right? I had it, whatever the side of the box I had it on was their reply. They knew where it was. So I do, and I use orgonite on many of my boxes. So yeah, I believe in orgonite. Geneva, I think people are jealous of your ability, integrity, and your transparency. I probably, but you know, everyone has the ability. But hateful people don't. They have to get rid of that hate. I strongly believe that. But yeah, jealousy it's a thing that I don't like. Me, I'm not a jealous person at all of anyone. I'm not jealous of anyone. I believe we should focus on our own lives instead of worrying about what others are doing. Do what makes us feel alive. Do with our life what excites us. And if anybody's out there attacking somebody else, that means they're doing nothing in their life. They're just being negative. It's not a way to be. I love being a patron and learning so much. Melissa Bolton. Someday I plan on going back to Arizona. Would cool to have a meetup for everyone at a coffee shop. That would be really cool. I would love to do that. The thing is, I always think, well, how many people who are into this that watch me are in Arizona? I don't know. But it would be cool. At the end of the masterclass series, I planned on setting up a meetup, which I don't know how many from that group would go, but maybe we'll do a meetup for everyone. That could be cool. Your rants are very interesting. I have a problem with rants. I just go on and on. Many of my patients knew that they were close to leaving this earth. Maybe, yeah. I haven't had that yet, but maybe that does happen at a certain point in life. All that matters is if you do find out, try to be at peace with it. Do you consider yourself a medium? Asks Carla. I always say I don't consider myself a medium. Even though in group session nights, I'll see film strips in my head. And I used to talk to medium. There's two mediums that I know that I trust in life. And they used to tell me, it's like film strips. You see things and then it's our job to interpret it and interpret what that means. And I was like, I always wanted to experience that. And when I started doing, the last year and a half or so of group nights, I started seeing things come into my head. I mean, I always kind of have, but I kept them to myself because I didn't know if I was just imagining it. And during group night, I was like, I'm just going to say what I see. And people started saying, oh, that's for me. That's a validation. So, boom, my mind knew it was possible. The belief set in. And now it happens all the time. But I still don't consider myself a medium because I can't walk up to a stranger and see their dead loved ones automatically. Like, oh, they're talking to me. It's only happened really during these group nights, a couple other times outside of it. But I don't like to call myself a medium because I can't make guarantees of connection. So there's medium qualities happening, but thank you. New member from California. Thank you, Teresa. How many spirits are around you in a day? Asks Dougie. There's probably always at least 2, but I can't. That's something that I can't just say, oh, there's 40 with me a day. I know my guides are with me. There's always a guide with me, but there's multiple guides. Last night, I was using the DR60, and for the first time in a long time, when I asked who was with me, the answer was Michael. Now, Michael's been gone for many months, so he came back, but there's always a guide around. And if you focus on them, you can feel them. I think I've done videos on that anyway. Good night, Alan. Does anyone know how to become a YouTube member to this page? There's a join button. If you're on a desktop computer or Android device, there's a join button under each video, and then it tells you what you get. It's $5 a month. You get access to group sessions, and I was going to phase out the live stream, but I'm going to add an option for the live stream. So this month, they're getting the group night and the live stream. But there's a join button, and if you're on an iOS or iPhone, the join button doesn't show up. But if you look at the video descriptions of my recent videos, there's a link to the join page. Thank you. Sorry, Teresa, I accidentally made a room and accidentally made it public when I was trying to figure out this new live stream because they discontinued Google Hangouts. So I was having a hard time. So I'm so sorry. I thought I deleted all the rooms I made like that, and I didn't. So sorry about that. Joe, sometimes when I listen to your videos, I hear 1 up, 2 up. What do you think that means? It could mean that there's 1 spirit or 2 spirits. They often speak of forming a line behind the device. And they come in and out so quick. I wish that 1 spirit could sit down and just have a full conversation. But they say it's difficult and they need more power, energy to do that. So yeah, that could just mean how many are coming up. Erica, how many would show up for a Huff Live event that is open to everyone? I did that a couple times. I did a Queen Mary one. I did the Bel Air House event. Bel Air House asked me if I would want to do another event with Bishop James Long. He requested me to do an event with him at the Bel Air House. I've never met him. They were talking October of this year. I'll keep everyone updated if that happens. But I know that's a very limited thing, like the house only holds so many people. I might do that. It's not set in stone yet, but yeah, I'm open to meetups too. Negative people leave me feeling drained, physically drained. That's true. A lot of you might have this, but I have this where anytime I meet someone, I instantly know if there's someone I'm going to like, or if they're negative, or if they're an energy sucker, and it's just something I know. So there's actually people I avoid in life, because yeah, negativity can drain you. It can really drain you. The last group session, did anyone respond to the validation about the little dog that ate grass? Um, I think there was one who thought it could have been her dog, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there was. But there's a thing too, and some famous mediums have said this, or insinuated this, that just because a validation was for someone else, it can also be a validation for you, because you saw it, right? You were part of it. And if there's two of you with that kind of a dog, I saw kind of like a Dachshund dog, floppy ears, little short guy, long. So that's what I saw. And if there's two of you who had that kind of dog, then it's possibly for both of you. Thank you, Kaylee. What time is it? I don't even know. Oh, we have about 10 minutes left, I think. So yeah, it's closed. All right, you guys were talking about the other room. Seeing if I missed anything. Yeah, this is the real life feed. Sorry, guys. You will be able to watch this if you missed it, if you're interested in watching the beginning. Where are we at? Time to get my littles in bed. Have a great night. Thank you, Kimberly. Last Q&A, you said this is from Stacy Gow, said there was a very powerful spirit with you. What makes one spirit more powerful than another? I just go by the energy I feel. And I know, like, certain spirits, like Ed, Michael, Billy, that have been with me for years, they have abilities to help other spirits speak, and they've said such. You may have seen people in this field use the term technicians. That's the same as a guide. They're just calling their guide technicians because some people don't believe in guides. But it's our guides, it's our helpers. And our guides are way more powerful than a random lost soul that comes up asking for the light. So yeah, it's their energy. And for reasons we do not know, they have an abundance of it, and they can do some crazy things. I've had Ed just totally take over the portal and turn it from you hearing the sounds of the app to just talking. And others would say, Ed, we need Ed. Like, they'll say they can't talk because Ed or Billy's not here. So, yeah, basically. I'm from New Zealand. Oh, I hope I say your name right. Lioness Artwork. I'm from New Zealand. Oh, New Zealand's so beautiful. I would live in New Zealand if I could. I've had many family members pass in my life. Have seen a couple mediums, but no one's ever seen or heard from them. Does this mean they don't want to talk to me? I wouldn't say it like that. I really don't know, but what I know from my experience, whether I'm using a box or trying to see from within, you can't connect with everybody, or at least I can't. That's why I don't offer one-on-one sessions, because A, it's way too time consuming to do them for free. And if I charged for them, I would just feel awful if I didn't get a response. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking money for something I possibly can't deliver on. So I I don't know if that's a thing. Not all spirits come through. When we do group nights, not everybody gets a validation. A percentage do. But yeah, I really don't know why some spirits come through and some don't. Like my own father, I've had his name come through hundreds of times, or at least say 100, right, over the years. But only once did a message come through from him, and that was 7 years, 6, 7 years ago. Um, and I don't understand why that is. Maybe they can leave one message and then they move on. I don't know. All right, let's see. Oh, here's some more questions. Okay. Where Can you tell if a spirit is young or old? And can you feel their excitement? You feel their energy. I can distinguish between good and bad energy. I don't think I can really distinguish an energy young or old, but when I see within, I can. But if it's just through the box and I'm not seeing, I don't really know the age. Um, have you ever asked Billy his middle name? I've asked his last name, never an answer. Never an answer. Um, One time, Debbie and I we went to bed, and what app was it? There was a new app that came out. It was Sweep by Keith Weldon, a very little known app from him. He came out with this last year, and not many people learned about it. I think I made one video with it in my Angry Grandpa session, so I didn't make a video dedicated to it. But I remember turning it on in bed, and I said something about Billy, and what came through, and we both heard it in real time, was, "I'm your old friend from Chicago." And then it went silent. And I was born and raised in Chicago, and I was like, but I didn't have a friend named Billy. And then I think back, and in must have been 4th or 5th grade, there was this guy named Billy, kid named Billy, and he was a bully to me. He always threatened, to beat me up after school, and he would talk crap to me in school. And one day I got sick of it, and I said, "I'll meet you at the playground by the monkey bars," or whatever. It might have been 6th, 7th grade. I don't remember. And I face him, and he gets in front of me, and I said, "Let's go." And inside I was scared because I wasn't a fighter. And he looked at me, he turned around, and he ran off the schoolyard. And I was like, really? And that's the truth, though. Bullies are weak. Bullies are babies. They have no strength. Their strength is their mouth. But anyway, long story short is, I found out later in life that he passed away like 10 years ago. And it got me to thinking, could that be Billy, right? I don't know. But the comment of old friend from Chicago, or I knew you in Chicago, but I was like, he wasn't a friend. But it was interesting, though. I believe if people are in comas, I believe fully they can hear us. Even if they wake up and don't remember, I think that somehow their spirit can hear. I believe fully in, like, if I had a loved one in a coma, I would be talking to them all the time, playing music. I totally believe that helps as well. You need to invent something to enhance the spirit's power. Probably hard to do, but I think if anyone could do it, you could. I experimented with some things behind the scenes that I was going to film for Patreon and YouTube members, but it didn't work out, and I hate posting boring stuff. There's a lot of stuff I try that doesn't work, so I'm always trying. I ordered this, what's it called, Van de Graaff or something, a machine, those ones that send out the sparks and you hold the stick and it's like zzz. I tried one of those while doing a session, and it did nothing but make it more irritating. But yeah, I agree with you. They always ask for power, which is which they call energy. They call it power. Um, and when my energy's high and my passion is high, and Josh and I just talked about this the other day, when our passion is high, we get amazing responses. If I come in here and I'm tired and I'm turn on the box, I just get app sounds or radio. Um, so yeah, our energy has a lot to do with it. Maybe there's a way to combine. Imagine if we had a meetup, right? And we all sat in a circle, held hands, had the box in the middle, and all focused. Um, Even if I started talking and guiding us through this meditation and visualization, that could be something that we can try if we ever do a meetup. Our energy, I think, is the best energy for them. So, you just put a thought in my head there. Thank you. I never show fear as fear gives them power. They feed off that fear energy. When we put out love energy, it's a different kind of energy than that scared energy, right? It's a whole different vibe. And that scared energy is what the evil seems to feed on. Scott Haynes, when I have a tier that I used to have, which changed to me tier silver, I was charged 10 and 5. No, you will only be charged whatever tier you are per month. Now, if you upgraded the tier, I think Patreon charges that instantly before they allow you to go in that tier. So if you paid $5 at the first of the month and you upgraded to 10, they're going to charge you 10. That's a Patreon thing. I have no control over the billing. But if you are upset about that, you can email Patreon and, they'll take care of that for you. When is the session where you can try to contact your loved ones? This is from a new member, Christy, on YouTube memberships. It's only once a month. So as a YouTube member, it's $5. You get early access to some of the videos. You get bonus clips from time to time throughout the month, and you get group session participation every month. And that includes a video of a guided meditation visualization the day before the session. And then, so that's the YouTube membership. Patreon, there's a lot more options, like there's gold or copper, silver, gold tiers. Was Billy also gifted when he was alive? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who Billy is for sure, but Edwin started coming to me right after the Bel Air House, and the resident spirit at Bel Air House is Edwin. And when he was alive, he held seances in that house almost nightly to try to reach his sister. He was very into spirits and connecting with spirits. And that's the Ed. When I go back to Bel Air House, Ed comes through. Other spirits, there are no Ed. So I know Edwin was into spirit work when he was alive. Billy, again, that's still a mystery to me. Thank you, Ashley, about the last video. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought my last video was cool. I liked it. Some people didn't like it, but I thought it was informative. I try to make videos that I want to see, right? When I started my camera review website 11 years ago, almost 12 now, which is at stevehufpphoto.com, I've been reviewing cameras and lenses for manufacturers for years, but I kind of pushed that to part-time basis this year to pursue paranormal deeper. Where was I going with this? One of my rants. Holy cow, I totally forgot. I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, sorry, my mind just blanked. I hate when that happens. What time is it? 8:18. So we only have a couple minutes left here. Can spirits watch you get dressed? It kind of freaks me out. You should never worry about that. I used to get that question all the time. Like, if I'm taking a bath, are spirits going to watch me? They're not interested in that at all. And I firmly believe they don't gather around you unless you start thinking of them or focusing on them. Like right now, I don't think there's a spirit around me. Their guide might be here attached to me. But if I sat here and I focused for 10 minutes, did the visualization, they would come in. But I've never known them to have interest in anything like that. It doesn't freak me out at all, but I know it freaks some people out. And somebody said, I didn't mean to upset you. You didn't upset me at all. I just don't want you to be upset about the billing. It was about the Patreon billing. So yeah, if you're not if there's something wrong, I would email Patreon about that. I don't want anyone to be charged more than they should be. Yes, Scott. No, you didn't upset me at all. All right. So we're gonna end this session, this live stream. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any important questions here. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So yeah, we're gonna close this out. Thank you guys so much. Sorry I started late tonight, but yeah, you should see this little getup I have in front of me. It's a little crazy, but it works, I guess. So I love you all. Love is the key. Try to live each day happy, positive. Try to be kind to everyone. And if anybody's negative or pushing negativity in your life, avoid that if you can. I know it's hard sometimes, but love you all. And I'll have updates to the members areas at both YouTube and Patreon. And I'm working on a new video already, so more to come. Thank you guys. Thanks for your support. Now I got to figure out how to stop this.